Hi, welcome back to Science 1206, the motion unit. I'm Miss Ledwell, and in this video, we'll continue our discussion on practicing calculating velocity. Let's get started. As the problem in each table is revealed, pause the video and work out the answer, then resume the video and we'll go through the answer together. Our first problem says, a dog runs east for 6.0 meters in 3.0 seconds, then changes direction and runs west for 12.0 meters in 4.0 seconds. What is the average velocity of the dog? The formula for average velocity is total displacement divided by total time taken. So the first thing you need to do is figure out the total displacement. So we have 6 meters east plus 12 meters west. Remember, when we're adding up our displacements, we're going to change from the letter value to putting in positive and negative signs. East is positive and west is negative. So when we add those together, we get negative 6.0 meters, or 6.0 meters west is our total displacement. Our total time is 3 seconds plus 4 seconds, which gives us 7 seconds total, 7.0 in this case. The formula for average velocity is change in displacement divided by the change in time. So we have 6.0 meters west divided by a total time of 7.0 seconds. That gives us 0.86 meters per second west. Remember that velocity is a vector quantity, so we need to include both magnitude and direction. Also remember our significant figures. In our problem, our numerator and denominator both have two significant figures, so our answer has two significant figures. The average velocity of the dog then is 0.8 seconds meters per second west. Let's try another one. A motorcycle travels 200 kilometers north and then 350 kilometers south in 3.5 hours. Calculate the average velocity of the motorcycle both in kilometers per hour and meters per second. To calculate average velocity, we're going to find the total displacement divided by the total time taken. For a total displacement, we had 200 kilometers north plus 350 kilometers south. Remember, we're going to change our symbols into positive and negative, and north is positive and south is negative. So we have positive 200 kilometers plus negative 350 kilometers gives us negative 150 kilometers, or that is 150 kilometers south. In this case, our total time taken was 3.5 hours, and we don't have to do any calculations on the time. So our formula for average velocity then we're ready to use is our change in displacement divided by the change in time. So we have our change in displacement is 150 kilometers south divided by our change in time is 3.5 hours, and that gives us 43 kilometers per hour south. Notice that our denominator has the least number of significant digits with only 2 significant digits, so we have 2 significant digits in our answer. It also asks us in the problem to state our answer in both kilometers per hour and meters per second. To change kilometers per hour to meters per second, remember that we divide by the conversion factor of 3.6. So in meters per second, that would be 12 meters per second. The average velocity of the motorcycle is 43 kilometers per hour south, or 12 meters per second south. Also remember that velocity is a vector quantity, so we need to include direction in our answer. Our last problem for you to try is, a snowmobile travels 55 kilometers east and then 43 kilometers east in 12 hours. Calculate the average velocity both in kilometers per hour and meters per second. The formula for average velocity is the total displacement divided by the total time taken. For a total displacement, we had 55 kilometers east plus 43 kilometers east. In this case, the snowmobiler is traveling in the same direction. These would both have positive values, so we add those together and we get 98 kilometers east. Our total time is given as 12 hours, and there's no calculation needed for that. So now we're going to calculate our average velocity, which is our change in displacement divided by the change in time. So we have 98 kilometers east divided by 12 hours gives us 8.2 kilometers per hour east. Notice that in our division, the least number of significant digits is 2, so we have 2 significant digits in our answer. The problem also asked us to calculate the average velocity in meters per second. So we use our conversion factor of 3.6, and when we divide 8.2 kilometers per hour by 3.6, we get 2.3 meters per second. So the average velocity of the snowmobile is 8.2 kilometers per hour east, or 2.3 meters per second east. Let's look at the definitions for constant velocity and instantaneous velocity. Recall that instantaneous speed is the speed of an object at a specific moment in time. Instantaneous velocity is like instantaneous speed with the addition of a direction. In other words, the instantaneous velocity is the velocity of an object at a specific moment in time in a given direction. Constant velocity is a velocity that does not change over a specified period of time. It is when an object travels the same distance and direction for each time interval. Now it's time to review. Complete the learning activities in Brightspace.